Hi everyone. So I decided to give this video, a funny title. It's called "Oh No He Didn't: Top Myths and Misconceptions Network Marketers Are Scared Ishless to Address Head On." So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dive into a lot of the questions that may be, in the back of a lot of you all's mind, saying, this program is system on talk to get game, but I have some questions that maybe I haven't gotten answered. That some people tend to be scared to tackle. So what we're going to do is we're going to tackle this. So let's get started. So the first one I'm going to hit first, and this is the most obvious one. This is the biggest one. Maybe it's only one that comes really close to it, and it's the how much you're making one. But we're going to start with this one. Is this a pyramid scheme? So let me give you the obvious answer. Like everybody, you're expecting to say, no, it's not. But what's important to understand, because I'm speaking from a teaching perspective, is to find what is the real question or concern behind this question. The reality is, I could easily come up, dismiss this off as somebody being ignorant, like I'm often told to do, even by the new school approach of people that I look up to, and say this person isn't serious. But I understand that a lot of times this is not a hostile question. Most people are used to getting paid per hour. So anything outside of that is alien to them. They don't understand that executive CEOs of big businesses have specialized compensation plans that you hear about in the news. And they don't even understand that a lot of times their managers have a lot of compensation plans. It's very unique. For anybody, for the most part, that works salary in a middle management job, it is not just you work this amount of hours, you get paid. It is, we know you get paid per 40. Here's some other incentive packages that incentivizes you to do a good job. And a lot of this is not so weird and alien to them. But in the world of I get paid $10 or $13 an hour, you get paid 1.5 for overtime, you get vacation days, it's in your story, that's that. Often when you talk about complex compensation plans and how you bonus and how you do this, it basically sounds like just a sophisticated way of a pyramid scheme. And as we can see the picture to the right, you have a picture of a pyramid scheme. The reality is, if a company has a goal and they want to incentivize you to do something and they want to make that fair, that's when all the complications come from. So I go back to the first thing. Find the real question and concern behind it. What are they really asking? And once you get that real question out, address that directly. The second thing is value. Show the value of whatever product or service you offer without the comp plan. They need to understand that this product can stand on its own. If you went to a store, like for instance, the Empower Network is digital information. It's digital software. So they need to know that if this was $25 in a store, would it really sell? Now, you can't obviously prove that, but at the end of the day, in the Empower Network, so to speak, you don't have to be an affiliate. And I actually would not say somebody's stupid for not being an affiliate. I honestly would recommend somebody to go into the Empower Network. If nothing else, it gives them kind of a tiptoe into what a blog is really like and helps them in that aspect. So whatever product or service you're selling, you have to show them it can stand on its own, and a comp plan is just an add-on. However, it is not, the be-all, end-all. Just like McDonald's. McDonald's is a business opportunity. Subway is a business opportunity. However, we obviously go to these places and buy food. But we don't call that a pyramid scheme, even though you can have multiple stores and you get paid to have different stores, blah, blah, blah. But, we don't think of it that way because it's something we're used to. Another thing, and I've actually been guilty of this as well, is to ask yourself, is there a better way for me to explain this? I've explained this to people I know. People know that I don't come at anything with, a lot of BS. I'm just going to be frank about that. However, I've still been asked, is this a pyramid scheme? Now, I know they mean well, and I know they don't mean to try to, catch me off guard or anything. But I understood looking back, it's how I explained it that made it appear that way. So let's move on. So the next question is, why would I talk to someone, especially my friends or family I care for, about some business or some product they may think is snake oil, which is a sophisticated term for useless. I don't want to be that guy or gal. Well, I definitely understand this. I didn't want to do this. And in fact, till this day, I still haven't talked to some of my friends about it, unless I knew we have common interests. It's not that I don't think they're capable. I think they're great. But I value their friendships. This is what I said when I was new. And I call these people my chicken list people. And these are people that I was afraid to talk to when I was new. And I wanted to get to a certain level, whatever that level may be, before I speak with them. Well, what I will say knowing what I know now, is there's a couple of key factors that I've outlined below that are the reasons for this. First of all, is belief in the product. Maybe you haven't completely bought into what this product can offer. You need to see a little bit more, see others has done it, whatever. But you have to believe in whatever product or service you have to offer. You have to believe that it can do what you're saying it can do. You have to internally believe, no matter what you see. And I can tell you, I've had over $20,000 of information through my hands. I have talked to millionaires. I've actually sat down with people that have made 7 figures. And for some reason, I didn't have that buy-in. I don't know why. That fear is something that's always in the back of your head, but you have to minimize that and just have faith and go. There is no, victory without pain, and there is no victory without risk. That's all I can really say to that. You have to buy into it. You have to let yourself be vulnerable and buy into what they're saying. I know this sounds like it's cheesy, but it is dead true. And you have to be able to logically go to point A and point B, because people will sense that you're not bought in. The next thing is you have to believe in your ability to deliver whatever you are promising. So a big key to that is, number one, speak in terms of what they are prepared to comprehend. Don't offer them thousands of dollars if you haven't made it. Don't offer them, all these things that's hyped up that people start to get in the it's too good to be true mode, and they stop listening to you because you sound like a commercial. You need to talk in terms. People did not join a business. They are joining you. So you need to talk in terms of things that you can help them with. Like, how would they be, somebody's paying for a car note and they have insurance. Obviously it's full because it's a car note. What would it do to help them eliminate that? Not necessarily by paying off the car, but just by being able to pay that per month. How many hours would that open up to them? What would it help them to make it so they don't have to push overtime all the time? Or not have 2 jobs? Or maybe school can be paid for? Or maybe whatever or a goal that they can get. They can get a down payment on a house, but I often don't talk about that because that is, once again, getting into the thousands of dollars. That's not to say what you offer cannot get into the thousands of dollars and help them, but they have to have a certain amount of belief. You have to get incremental steps. Don't just go from one A to Z. You gotta go A, B, C, D, maybe skip to G, J, but you have to get that buy-in first. And if they don't know you, then you have to be that much more cautious. And another thing I go back to is the chicken list. Basically, if you're this afraid to speak with somebody for whatever reason, what I've told you have not settled you down, or what your sponsor is telling you, or your team, and all the stuff I've shown you've seen, you still don't have that buy-in, then just put them on your chicken list. And then we'll get back to them, once you've had a little bit more pieces of social proof under you.